commercial applications, the neutral conductor can indeed be shared between two or more receptacles when they are fed from the same phase. The National Electrical Code, specifically NEC 2020 Section 310.15b4, addresses this scenario. This section stipulates that the neutral conductor should not be smaller than what's required for the ungrounded conductors that supply the load. There is an exception to this. This exception is made if the neutral conductor is protected by a neutral conductor protection device and is installed according to 310.15b. To clarify the sizing requirements with an example, imagine two circuits, each rated for 20 amps. In this specific case, the neutral conductor does not need to be sized for 40 amps. It only needs to be sized for 20 amps. The reason for this is rooted in how current flows in a balanced system. The neutral conductor is responsible for carrying only the unbalanced current. Unbalanced current refers to the difference between the current flowing in the ungrounded conductors, which are often referred to as the hot wires. When the circuits are perfectly balanced, meaning both are drawing the same amount of current, the unbalanced current is 0 amps. The current returning from each hot wire cancels each other out in the neutral. However, electrical systems are rarely perfectly balanced in real-world applications. Therefore, the NEC requires that the neutral conductor be sized to handle the maximum potential unbalanced current. Consider an instance where one circuit is drawing 20 amps while the other circuit is drawing only 10 amps. In this scenario, the neutral conductor must be sized to accommodate 10 amps, which is the difference between the two. This is an important safety consideration. If the neutral is undersized, it could overheat, leading to potential fire hazards or equipment malfunction. The code aims to prevent such occurrences by ensuring the neutral can handle the maximum expected load. There are several key considerations when implementing shared neutrals in commercial settings. Firstly, proper circuit identification is crucial. It is essential to clearly label each circuit and its associated neutral to avoid confusion during maintenance or troubleshooting. Secondly, the integrity of the neutral connection must be maintained. A loose or faulty neutral connection can lead to voltage fluctuations and equipment damage. Thirdly, the use of appropriate overcurrent protection is paramount. Circuit breakers or fuses must be selected based on the ampacity of the conductors and the load requirements. Lastly, regular inspections and maintenance are vital. Electrical systems should be periodically inspected by qualified electricians to identify and address any potential issues. Sizing a neutral conductor when it is shared requires a careful assessment of the expected loads on each circuit. The goal is to determine a maximum unbalanced current that the neutral might have to carry. Firstly, determine the continuous load on each circuit. Continuous load is defined as a load that operates for 3 IOs or more. According to the NEC, the overcurrent protection device and conductors must be sized to handle 125% of the continuous load. Secondly, calculate the total load on each circuit. This includes both continuous and non-continuous loads. Thirdly, determine the maximum unbalanced current. This is the difference between the total load on each circuit. The neutral conductor must be sized to carry this amount of current. Fourthly, select the appropriate conductor size. Use NEC Table 310.16 to determine the ampacity of different conductor sizes. Be sure to consider the conductor's insulation type and the ambient temperature. The conductor must have an ampacity equal to or greater than the maximum unbalanced current. Fifthly, install overcurrent protection. Each circuit must have its own overcurrent protection device, such as a circuit breaker or fuse. The overcurrent protection device must be sized to protect the conductors from overload. When dealing with nonlinear loads, such as those found in electronic devices, the neutral conductor may need to be oversized. Nonlinear loads generate harmonic currents, which can add up in the neutral conductor. The NEC provides guidelines for sizing the neutral conductor in these situations. The NEC also provides specific requirements for multi-wire branch circuits. A multi-wire branch circuit consists of 2 or more ungrounded conductors that share a common neutral conductor. The NEC requires that the neutral conductor in a multi-wire branch circuit be sized to carry the maximum unbalanced load. Furthermore, it is important to consider voltage drop when sizing conductors. Voltage drop is the reduction in voltage that occurs along the length of a conductor. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently. The NEC provides guidelines for limiting voltage drop. To minimize voltage drop, use larger conductors or shorten the length of the circuit. When installing electrical systems, it is essential to follow all applicable codes and standards. The NEC is the most widely adopted electrical code in the United States. It provides comprehensive requirements for the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment. The local authority having jurisdiction, or OJ, may have additional requirements. It is important to consult with the AHJ to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. In addition to the NEC, there are other relevant standards, such as those published by the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, or IEE, and the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. These standards provide guidance on various aspects of electrical system design and installation. To ensure electrical safety, it is crucial to hire qualified and licensed electricians. Licensed electricians have the training and experience necessary to install and maintain electrical systems safely and correctly. They are also familiar with the NEC and other applicable codes and standards. When working on electrical systems, always follow safe work practices. Firstly, always de-energize the circuit before working on it. Use a voltage tester to verify that the circuit is de-energized. Secondly, wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as safety glasses and insulated gloves. Thirdly, use insulated tools. Fourthly, never work alone. Always have someone nearby who can assist in case of an emergency. Fifthly, be aware of your surroundings. Avoid working in wet or damp conditions. These guidelines are essential for ensuring electrical safety. Electrical work can be dangerous. By following these guidelines, you can minimize the risk of electrical shock and other hazards. In summary, sharing neutrals in commercial electrical systems is permissible under specific conditions outlined in the NEC. The key is to properly size the neutral conductor to accommodate the maximum unbalanced current. Careful consideration must be given to continuous loads, nonlinear loads, and voltage drop. Adherence to the NEC and other applicable standards is essential for ensuring electrical safety. Always hire qualified and licensed electricians to perform electrical work. By following these guidelines, you can create a safe and efficient electrical system. Remember that this information is for educational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer for specific guidance on your project. Furthermore, bear in mind the specific requirements of your local jurisdiction, as they may differ from the general guidelines provided here. Staying informed about the latest updates to the NEC is also crucial. The NEC is revised every 3 years, and it is important to be aware of any changes that may affect your work. Continuous learning and professional development are essential for staying up to date with the latest electrical codes and technologies. Also, always refer to the manufacturer's instructions for any electrical equipment you are installing or maintaining. The manufacturer's instructions provide specific information on the proper installation and operation of the equipment. Ignoring these instructions can lead to equipment damage or safety hazards. In addition to the technical aspects of sharing neutrals, it is also important to consider the economic implications. Sharing neutrals can reduce the amount of copper wiring required, which can save money on materials. However, it is important to weigh the cost savings against the potential risks. Undersizing the neutral conductor can lead to safety hazards and equipment damage, which can ultimately cost more money in the long run. Therefore, it is important to carefully consider the trade-offs before deciding to share neutrals. The decision should be based on a thorough analysis of the electrical loads, the wiring configuration, and the applicable codes and standards. When designing an electrical system, it is important to consider the future needs of the building. The electrical system should be designed to accommodate future growth and expansion. This may involve oversizing the conductors and equipment to provide capacity for future loads. It is also important to consider the potential for changes in technology. As technology advances, new electrical equipment may require different wiring configurations or power requirements. The electrical system should be designed to be flexible and adaptable to future changes. In conclusion, the practice of sharing neutrals in commercial electrical systems is governed by specific guidelines within the National Electrical Code. These guidelines emphasize the importance of properly sizing the neutral conductor to safely handle the maximum unbalanced current, taking into account various factors such as continuous loads, nonlinear loads, and potential voltage drop. Adherence to these regulations is not just about compliance, but also about ensuring the safety and efficiency of the electrical system. It's a balance between optimizing material usage and maintaining a robust and reliable power distribution network. The decision to implement shared neutrals should be made thoughtfully, considering both the immediate cost savings and the long-term implications for system performance and safety. Engaging qualified and licensed electricians is paramount, as they possess the expertise to navigate the complexities of electrical codes and standards. Their knowledge ensures that the installation is not only compliant but also tailored to the specific needs of the commercial application, minimizing risks and maximizing the lifespan of the electrical infrastructure. Remember that electrical codes and best practices are continuously evolving. Staying informed about the latest updates and advancements is critical for anyone involved in the design, installation, or maintenance of electrical systems. Continuous learning and a commitment to safety are essential for ensuring the reliable and safe operation of electrical systems in commercial buildings. Furthermore, the long-term operational costs and environmental impact should be considered when making decisions about electrical system design. Energy-efficient designs can reduce electricity consumption and lower operating costs. The use of sustainable materials and practices can minimize the environmental impact of the electrical system. A holistic approach to electrical system design considers not only the initial cost but also the long-term economic and environmental implications. By carefully considering all of these factors, you can create an electrical system that is safe, efficient, and sustainable.